So you're advertising AKA Thailand. You moved there. Can you talk about why you went to that camp in preparation for this fight?
Well, I went to help Saul out with his fight against Bigfoot in Brazil, and I really liked the place, and it was a great place, and everyone was really kind, good to us, and it's affordable.
First fight in Melbourne, Mark. How excited are you?
It's not my first fight in Melbourne. I started my career here.
UFC fight in Melbourne. Apologies.
First fight, yeah. It feels great. It's come full circle. I started my career here in Melbourne, and I'm here in a different sport at the top end. So it's great to be here with UFC, biggest organisation on the planet.
Now you're in a phenomenal shape going into this fight. Is this the best shape that we've ever seen Mark Hunt in the UFC so far?
Correct. Yes.
What kind of weight are we looking at? How much did you lose over there in Thailand?
I don't know what the weight was. I had a good nutritionist. Thanks very much for that. And just looking, ready to go. I'm no weight cut this time.
How much does it mean to you to get the draw off your record? I mean, you won't get it off your record, but you'll avenge it in a sense.
Well, look, the only thing that reminds me of that fight is just what happened and the bad side of it. Every time someone mentions that fight to me, it just brings up why it was marred. So.
A lot of people are saying this is going to be a rematch of one of the best heavyweight fights in UFC history. You just gave a prediction of a first round knockout. What do you think is going to be a lot quicker this time around than the first time?
Well, look, man, it's going to be a fight. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm looking to go knock him out, but we'll see how it goes. Every fight's different, but we'll see what happens.
Which was a more difficult fight for you physically, the first fight with Bigfoot, or this most recent one with Stipe?
The one with Stipe was hard. I got beaten up. I beat myself. I lost that fight, but it was hard. That's why I had to do some changes. So yeah.
What was the major issues leading up to that fight? Was it just your training camp, the weight?
It was me. I had to lose like 10 kilograms in the day before the day of the weigh-in, so that wasn't good. It was not good for anybody. So I'm not doing that again, and it's not happening again.
Are you confident cardio won't be an issue this time?
Oh no, I'm ready to go 5-10 rounds, whatever you need. I'm ready.
A lot of people thought
sort of chance to redeem yourself for the Miocic fight.
Yeah, of course. The Miocic fight doesn't sit well with me. Still doesn't. That's why I'm here ready.
When you spoke to us, you said there were some issues with not eating carbs or something going into the Stipe fight. Is that all going to be sorted going into this one?
There is no weight cut here. It's sorted already. So.
Apart from the physical, mental is a big part of the game. Is there anything differently you've done mentally to approach this fight than you have in the past?
I've just surrounded myself with good people. Not like the last camp was bad. It was just my fault. I made a lot of mistakes in that last bit, and not making them again. So, thanks to Stipe for that.
Earlier you mentioned how UFC is the biggest combat sporting organisation in the world. Did you feel it's sort of, capitalised on the fact that boxing is generally viewed as being in decline? Well,
I think when everyone realises like mixed martial arts is the ultimate in fighting sport, then they understand the uneducation of people looking at it and that's not a good sport. Until they actually go through the process of learning the ground game, then they understand. So boxing is one-dimensional. It's just your brain and your freaking hands. But mixed martial arts has got so many different levels.
Like you said, you started your career here in Melbourne. How does it feel being back here under these circumstances now? Did you ever think that you'd get here like this?
No, I didn't. Like I said, for myself, I didn't even want to be a fighter. But it's come full circle now here in Melbourne, and great city, Melbourne, of course. I started fighting in the Crown, in the K1 Oceania, and I'm back now with the UFC. So, thanks to God for that.
Well, speaking of your story, your book's come out, and it's an incredible journey of your life. Some of the stuff that you've written in there, it's incredible what you've achieved in your career. How does it feel that fans know what you've been through, and now they're on your side and they know the whole story behind everything?
Well, look, for me to share the book, I said no to it like 4 or 5 times, but just to share my story so I can help others is the main thing, the reason why I did it. It wasn't for the money, I don't like to air my dirty laundry to anybody, but to help others in the struggle and the journey is something positive. I've been given a platform by God for the UFC, so this is the reason why I said yes to Vanessa for doing it. So, Hatchet Australia and Vanessa, thank you very much.
After your career finishes, Mark, do you think you'll plan on making a sequel to that book?
Only God knows. I have no idea, mate, honestly. No idea at all. I'm just going with what I'm doing.
Going with the flow.
Yeah.
You have 2 fights left. You mentioned you have 2 fights left. You have 2 fights left in your contract. Are you looking to renegotiate? Or are you just is it wait and see at this point for the rest of your career?
Man, every fight can be my last. This fight here, Sunday night could be my last fight. Who knows? I don't know.
How long realistically do you think you could go? You're 41 now. How long do you think realistically you could go on for? Do you feel?
Mentally, I could fight forever. I feel I'm the best fighter on the planet. My mind says I can fight forever, but physically, I won't be able to do it. But I love fighting. It's just harder to. You got a lot of young up-and-coming heavyweights from Australia and New Zealand. They're bloody damn good, man. So it's hard to keep up with them.
There's been opposition in this area to MMA, and now it's coming back. And I saw yesterday there was an editorial that said they shouldn't allow kids in the stadium. Why do you think there's been strong opposition, and what do you think about that stance that they should ban kids?
I think they try and associate street thuggery and street fighting with what we do as sport mixed martial arts, but if anyone wants to prove, I'm one that's moved totally away from violence and street violence, started from the negative, coming to a positive, and I've used mixed martial arts and martial arts as a way to get away from it. Every martial artist knows that when you do a lot of martial arts and training, you move away from that aggressive side of being an angry person, angry young kid. So if anything, for example, I'm a pure example. Yeah, so.
Do you find that it gives a platform for self-discipline?
It does.
Yeah.
I'm a pure example of that, so yeah. There you go.
What about the opinion that they should ban kids from coming to the fights on Sunday?
I don't think so. My son would be here, but my wife is sick of looking after the kids. That's why he's not coming.
Well, a fellow legend, K1 legend Mirko Cro Cop, just retired a few days ago. Amazing career. It was a fight that people wanted to see you guys have in the UFC. It's not going to happen. What were your thoughts when you heard that he's retired and he's gone from the UFC?
That's his prerogative, and it's good on him. He's had a great career. It is what it is. When it's time, it's time. I don't want to be one of those fighters that just say it's time and then come back and say, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. When I'm out, I'm out. So, good on him.
You're a great striker. Do you think Bigfoot will try to take this fight to the ground against you?
Honestly, I don't really care where it goes. I'm ready.